ingredient.
Sorry, I just had to record it right then. Thank you, Kelly.
Sorry about that. But I had always seen the power of just good skincare in general. I'd always used a premium skincare ever since I was 13 years old. So again, I just told her, this is great for you. I can't wait to try the products. I just walked away from the Estee Lauder counter yesterday and dropped $250. So it's not going to be for a while, but circle back with me and I'll try it. Send me a catalog in the meantime. And she sent that catalog to me. I've always been more of a visual person rather than seeing things online in front of me. But she sent that to me and I started circling the things that I wanted and just kind of building my cart from there. I just told her, this isn't the business for me. I want those products though. And the reason that it wasn't the business for me is just timing with everything. I had 2 children at the time. I have 3 little lovelies now, but 2 kids at the time. And we had 2 very busy restaurants in Baton Rouge too. So owning businesses, we didn't get to leave it at the door. When we would go home, I was still doing the accounting, still working on scheduling. And it was a full-time job, truly. I mean, and with the kids, time with my family was always something that I just needed more of. And I certainly wasn't going to pull it away to start another endeavor.
Yeah.
So again, just continued to build that little cart. And whenever I went to go check out one day, whenever it was my time to purchase that skincare, I had right at $700 in my cart.
A lot of skincare.
It was a lot. I had a little bit of sticker shock. And that's when I called her and said, okay, what do we have to do to whittle this down? What's the bare minimum of what I need to get these results that I'm seeing? And she said, you need to reconsider again, like looking into the business. We get this discount. It's a 60-day money back guarantee for us too, not only our customers, but the consultants as well. So that's when I really gave that a look and thought, okay, this is no commitment. She reassured me that I didn't have to knock on doors. I didn't have to have inventory. I could solely sign up for the discount if that's what I wanted to do. But I think that she had a feeling about me for good reason, because once I started using the products and within a week and a half, I could start to really kind of tell a difference with the texture of my skin. That's when I thought, okay, this will be easier to share than I thought. Once I started sharing, it was a couple of weeks into the business and thought, okay, I could be open to the idea of having an event, because they kept saying events. We're not a party company. But it's great to have these events, to have someone be able to put something on their skin and feel and smell and just the whole experience of it all. So once I had that scheduled, she said, okay, but I'm coming in town in a couple of days. Why don't you just get some friends together? We'll drink some wine. I'm going to bring down my big kit with everything. And, those friends can get together and just kind of, we'll just hang out. And had literally a couple of days notice, invited 4 friends, and one of those sweet friends was able to come. So when she saw what she liked, she actually joined me at the business presentation that next week, I believe. Joined me at the business presentation, and she walked into it knowing that she already had a strong interest. She still had some objections that she wanted to go over, but she was able to just kind of hear from others what it had done for their families, what it had done for their skin, and see everybody's skin. Because I can remember the night that we had that event, that presenter was glowing and she had been using for several years. So just to see her skin was huge for both of us. So she ended up joining that evening, and I can tell y'all, I really started seeing it all unfold. Like, it was very easy to share when it's something you like and something that you want, something that you truly want. How many of us have been to one of those parties where you feel like you have to buy something to support your friend and you don't truly want the product? But this was different because this was something that my friends started coming to me for. But with that, I have to say that next month, after that one event that month, the next month, my paycheck, y'all, I could have made a car payment. And I say that loosely because I probably was buying something for the kids, or, maybe a bottle of wine or 2 to celebrate, but it could have been a car payment. And that next month, it could have been a mortgage payment. And something that we thought was very neat was 6 months into the business, this was something that had panned out to actually be outselling one of our brick and mortar stores as far as numbers went in my organization. So that was very neat to see. And that sweet lady that I invited over that night to that party, the one that showed up out of the 4 that I invited, is sitting right next to me.
Yes.
So sweet, Jill, what did you think when I invited you to girls' night?
Yeah, well, I did want to point out your before and after pictures, although I think Jamie's beautiful on the left and beautiful on the right, obviously. But you can see the tightness in your skin and just the glow. I'm gonna box out and I'll pull back up my before and afters in just a second. I mean, when you invited me over, Jamie did not know that I had been with Clinique. We had just met each other a few months ago before at our neighborhood pool. And so I was just getting to know her when she introduced me to this skincare. And she didn't know that I was an event coordinator for Clinique. I was traveling with them all around the Louisiana area. And at the same time, so of course, when you invited me over to something for skincare, I'm kind of like skeptical, like probably all of you feel, when you get invited to anything or you feel like anybody's selling you something, don't you already automatically like put up your hands? I do, but I just had already gotten friends with her that summer and just like, well, I want to get to know her more. And so I think that's the key to this business. As I say, this story, it's really networking and relationships. And so I went over just to be with her. I really didn't want to learn more about this skincare, but what she also didn't know is that I had hormonal acne that had really developed that November, and it was from fertility treatments that I had done over years and then having boys back to back. I even had to get a photographer to edit out my whole cheek area of when I'm holding my baby Joshua. And so it was embarrassing. And so, really and truly, it was a great time because I really was searching for something to help me with my skin because what I was using wasn't working. And not only that, after years of fertility treatments, my husband and I, we were on one income and we were just really in a tight situation. So not only, for Jamie, she had a successful brick and mortar, 2 restaurants just booming in the Baton Rouge area. And so this for her was just kind of at first discounts on the products. But for me, I was looking for 2 things, something to cure or control my hormonal acne, but then also just the thought of having extra income would be very helpful for my family. And I want you to look at my before and after pictures. Here we go. This one. My before and after on the left, that is my unblemished. That's what I use, the unblemished regimen. And that is my hormonal acne on my cheeks. If you zoom and look in, you can see the divots, little holes in my skin. I only took that one side. I wish I had done both. And the one on the right is the reverse regimen for dark spots and sun damage. The one on the left, I have makeup on. You can still see ruddiness. And on the right, I have no makeup on. So when I came back from that night, it's very something that you're doing right now is you're trying to get information. So when I got back, I went to my husband and he watched a video that you had sent and said, just learn a little bit more about the company. And so my husband is a researcher and he researched and read and he found out that these doctors were the creator of Proactive and that they had made it $1 billion brand. And worldwide, 80% of the world market was with Proactive. He also found out that that Rodan & Fields, they had turned Rodan & Fields into $1 billion brand. And at the time, it was growing to be the number 1 skincare brand. And now it's in 3 countries, US, Australia, Canada, and now Japan. It's already in Japan. And so he saw these numbers and what the company had done. And the biggest thing was the 60-day empty bottle money back guarantee. Mm-hmm. So that means that if I introduce a regimen to a friend and I say, try this regimen, and they use every drop of it and it does not work, they are able to get a complete refund. And that made me bold to be able to share it with anyone. But I knew what it had done to my skin. So who do you think I go and share it to? I call up the one who's supposed to trust me the most, my college best friend. And I call Kelly up and I say, Kelly, I have just learned about a business. Casey has researched it. You live, I think she was living in North Alabama at the time. I'm not sure. But I said, you need to investigate this and do this alongside of me. And Kelly, what did you say to me 8 years ago?
I said, absolutely no. So
no.
Sorry.
Okay.
But I will try it. So I was not gung-ho on the selling either. I actually was in Nashville already. And I had seen a couple of friends dabble with it, and I just wasn't interested. I love how every single one of us have talked about we're just busy. We're just too busy. But guess what? Life never slows down. And if I could go back in time, I would have signed up and said yes, because I would love to have gotten interested or involved or whatever in the sales part, 7 to 8 years ago. But I had to become a believer in the product first. And some people, they're ready. They're ready to do something at home. They're ready to start sales. They didn't need something to get a discount. That was my reasoning. Eventually we'll talk about that. But anyway, I just need to fall in love with the skincare. And I had been using some organic products that I was not seeing any results. Did I feel like, oh, it's wonderful for my skin, which is the largest organ of the body? Yes, but I wasn't seeing any results. And so right in the fields, I saw results in 3 weeks. And that's what made me fall in love with the product.
And so about last year, so we're talking about 7 years later. Last year we got together at the end of October, and you and I started re-talking. When Jamie and I joined, you bought kits. You bought a $3.95, a $6.95, and $9.95 kits. And that's a lot of investment to invest in to us, to Jamie, who owned 2 restaurant businesses, that wasn't a big investment. She knew what investing in a business meant. But for somebody like myself at that time, that was very hard to just go and invest, even like $400. No way, Jose. Like, I just thought that's a big risk. Yes, you had 60 days, but still just the initial for us at that time was a huge deal to even have the 60 days to wait for that, So that was a big deal. But, last year when I met with Kelly, I just said, Kelly, it is $75 now to be a distributor of these products. There is nothing but you sharing it. And so I kind of tossed it back to her because she was loving the products. Her daughters were using the products. And I was telling her about other things. She's like, I need to try that. I need to try that. I need to try that. And I'm like, I know. That's why you should be a rep for this company. So Kelly, what made you change your mind last?
So the one thing that you answered, because I asked you, because of course, guys, we all are thinking, they're just trying to get me to sell this product. They want rewards too, blah, 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 blah. But this was the question that made me say yes. And I said it immediately to Jill. I didn't have to think about it. I said to Jill, what is my requirement of sales per month? And when she told me 0, that's what did it. And because of that, I've been able to be successful with it, because I didn't have someone's thumb going, you better sell at least $350 worth every month. I mean, I think if she would have told me that, I would be like, just forget it. But because she gave me the freedom to do what I want with my business, then that's what allowed me to jump on board.
Yeah, absolutely. We always say it's not, you set your own, what you want out of the business. You're never penalized. You're rewarded for what you do. And let's share your before and afters really quick. Because I think those are really important to see. So this is Kelly's before and after on the left, and before and after on the right, 2 different ones. So they look good, Kelly. They look really good. I didn't do your lip one or your under eye, but these were just some, like, you can see her sun damage on this one on the right, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, I'm 82, and I'm grateful it's changed my skin that much.
Yeah, you look great for 82, for sure.
Thank you,
girl. But one thing I do want to share is when Jamie and I joined, there was not a program called Ignite. Kelly joined with a program called Ignite. And if you decide to join, there is a program called Ignite that you are ignited. It ignites your business. It lights the fire. And what it does is exactly what I just said. You're just rewarded for what you do. So Kelly had 2 months when she joined. And the first 2 months that you joined, November and December of this month, you are rewarded. Every time you share about a regimen, you not only make commission off that regimen, but they just give you a bonus. And every time there's just steps. step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And by the end of this, Kelly, just to shout you out, was able to make a $500 bonus with Ignite on top of her commissions. So that's a little fun paycheck to get. That's why we say November and December, they're such great months to be a part of the business, because 1, you're the holiday season, and then 2, you're in this Ignite program. One of the things, Kelly, I think that was a block for you, was the fact that, you're a real estate agent, but I want you to look at this RF by the numbers. 33%, only 33% know the RF brand awareness in the US. New innovations every year. So you, as a real estate agent, what would you say if someone came to you and said, I don't want to be a real estate agent, there's just so many of them, and you felt that with Rodan and Fields? So what's your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. There are tons and tons of real estate agents in Nashville. There's probably tons and tons of Rodan and Fields successful distributors, but every single person, you need to look at your sphere of influence. Think of the people that you personally are friends with, you have connections with, you have family members with, and that love you, and they want to be a part of your life. And they know that you're going to tell them truthful details about the product. You're just not here to sell. You're wearing this product. You love this product. They trust your realness. Mm-hmm. And these are the people that you will be able to influence.
Absolutely. And I also love, and I know that since you have joined this past November, you've been able to get a paycheck every single month that you have joined.
And so, to be honest, we all are representing something different. I mean, we're looking at Jill and Jamie. I mean, these are successful distributors. These are the Lexus drivers. They are the corporate women here in Rodan and Fields. Me, I am representing just a different spectrum of a distributor. Why did I join? I already love the product. I wanted discounts. I wanted a discount price for me and my girls. Guess what? I signed last November. I have never used one dime of my money since then to buy any products for myself or any products for my girls. We can buy whatever we want to buy. That's not just one little cleanser a month. I can literally buy whatever I want for me and my girls at a zero cost. Why? Because in those first couple of months, I had several in-person parties. Women love getting together. We had the Black Friday sale last November. We had Christmas presents. People were buying. And because of that building early, it's allowed me to have a successful year. Not only have I gotten free products, but I have got a beautiful paycheck each month. Was I ever dreaming of that last November when I told Jill yes? Never. I never thought I'd ever make money. I just thought I'd get a discounted product, signing on. Never dreamed my free products are rewards for building early and just getting money every month. I call it the fun money that we have. Never did I dream this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for you, Jamie, what would you say surprised you about this business? If you, just like she's talking about from 1 year ago, it surprised her. What would you say something has surprised you?
I mean, y'all know so many things have shifted around these past couple of years with COVID, and with that, and just what were the statistics that we looked at as far as the average household income versus like spending? I think it's $175 extra a month just on groceries. So, I mean, everything's inflated significantly.
Yeah.
I've loved that we've been able to work at home with these businesses and not miss a beat. And we've adapted, don't get me wrong. We've done virtual parties and really kind of plugged into using our internet sources, but we've been able to fill the gap with this income. So I told you a little bit about my story to begin with, but I had no clue with our businesses and our things it was pulling us away from our family. We were never at home. I had to rely on my mother and Charlie's mother to watch our kids constantly. And we decided about a year and a half after I had signed up for Rodan and Fields that we were going to sell the business because we weren't spending that quality time at home with the family.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years later, another curveball and went through a divorce. So, I mean, there were a lot of things going on. And as a single mother, to be able to say yes to my children still and to not have to pinch every penny
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to fill the gap with my Rodan and Fields income, that to me was a game changer. I was able to say yes to the ballet lessons and to all the extras that I would have never been able to afford had it not been for this business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I just want to throw this up there as we close. So you can kind of see one of the things that we didn't know when we joined 8 years ago is that we would be number one in Lash Boost serum. That wasn't created yet. We didn't number one acne brand, number one anti-aging brand, and number one premium skincare brand. None of those things were around yet. We weren't number one yet 8 years ago. So that's been surprising.
And I want to add this because Jill, I think you forget to say this. We didn't number one ourselves. I always want y'all to, we didn't number one ourselves, guys. Yeah. I'm sure. So,
the greatest coffee. We're the greatest coffee. And, it's like Elf, oh, you want it. No, we definitely aren't calling ourselves that. And what is amazing is the clinical studies that back up all of these regimens as well. And you don't have to know anything about skincare. You see this middle picture. This is called a solutions tool. All this is a quiz that you take that tells you what regimen you want. So you literally send the solutions tool to your friend. The solutions tool is a quiz that the dermatologists have made up. You take the quiz, tells you what regimen you choose, and that is it. Everything is tools are at your fingertips. This is a total virtual business. And it is $75 to join this company to be a rep. And then you get a welcome 30 code, and then you can purchase products up to 50% off. And here's an example of what that would look like. You could order a regimen, a multi-eye cream, a lash boost, the new total serum, and Derma Cosmetics Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid. Love it. It would be $686 retail. If we bought it all, it'd be $512. But if you do the VIP box and put your welcome 30 code as a brand new rep, it turns to $358, a value savings of about $150 or $154. So that's the VIP box. And you can talk to more about the person who invited you about what that looks like. But you've heard our stories for 8 years of our anniversary, and Kelly's just from a year ago, and just to hear what this business has done for us, for our families. Again, we initially got into this for good skincare. We got into it for me personally to diversify and help my family. Then you see a pivot that happened with Jamie's story, and then you hear Kelly, who is a successful real estate agent. This is not her A job. This is her B job with fun money, but also with extra money coming in. Who wouldn't want it and who wouldn't need it? And just the fun that Kelly, I know, has helping her customers. You should see her niece Abby's before and after pictures of Unblemished and the acne and just so many people that we've helped. So we thank you for watching us, and get with the person that has invited you. And again, November is a great month to join. Good night. Thank you for coming.